We now come to the end of this quarter of lessons, and this would be a great time to have a little review. Here's one way to do it. List the topics of all the lessons covered, again on a board or a PowerPoint, or maybe on a handout, so that people can see them before you actually start the question. Now, after prayer, ask the class if there's one of these lessons which has continued to stand out to them personally. If no one responds, be sure to have your choice and the reason for it. You need to watch the clock, because if your class is very interactive, you may need to limit this section to 10 minutes. You definitely want to cover part of Lesson 13 because of its content. Now, here's a question you might want to begin with. When a person chooses to become a Christian, what should be some of the evidences of that commitment? When a person chooses to become a Christian, what should be some evidences of that commitment? Since faith is the means of becoming a Christian, you may want to share a definition. Now, the most common definition that people always refer to is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And I would suggest that you read that. In the NIV, it reads, "Now faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Then there's a definition I'd like you to consider sharing. Consider offering a definition that faith is commitment, confidence, and concentrated trust. Commitment is really the beginning area. Faith starts with our being willing to make a commitment. Confidence is the enabling aspect of faith, that we have confidence and we keep on going in our faith. And then concentrated trust is the sustaining aspect of faith. When things seemingly are going wrong, we continue to trust. Have you heard any of these lines? Someone says, "I'm a pretty good Christian." Some might say, "Well, I'm not as bad as others." Some may say, "Well, I'm really better than most." These are generalities in which it is so easy to slide. It is valuable to emphasize the sins that can easily creep in. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Spend special emphasis in part 2 of the lessons, which doesn't just say sin, but lists some of those specific ones. That's when the reality of what it means to sin or to believe in Christ and be different really soaks in.